Hello travellers, welcome back to Via Traveller's YouTube channel. We're on a mission to highlight some of the best attractions in the world, both on and off the beaten path. Today, we're going on a virtual journey through the Rhine Valley. It's a land of incredible contrasts. Look up, way up, to see rugged mountain peaks towering over the river and a plethora of ancient castles. Some were built for centuries of war, while others are luxurious vacation estates. Meanwhile, the waterside is an endless vista of peaceful vineyards and villages. These are divided by the dense forests that give the Black Forest its name. The Rhine River is one of the longest rivers in Europe. It springs from the Swiss Alps and then meanders through the mountains and meadows alike. This river takes an incredible 1,230 kilometre route from Switzerland to the Netherlands. That's quite a journey. For this guide, we're narrowing down hundreds of attractions to the 10 best places to visit in the upper middle Rhine Valley. Whatever you want out of your trip, you'll find it along the Rhine Valley. History buffs will love the ruins and architectural wonders on this list. Families can treat the kiddos to traditional wooden dolls and homemade pastries, the recipes of which have been passed down from centuries ago. However, this isn't just an urban jaunt through some of the best and oldest parts of European civilization. Likewise, this isn't just a stroll through the countryside. There are wild, untamed areas along the Rhine Valley. These include challenging mountain trails, overlooks, and other heart-pounding outdoor adventures. Make sure you watch to the end because you won't want to miss out on any of the entries on this list. And while you're watching, if you'd like to learn more about the Rhine Valley's travel essentials, we've got links in the description below. And while you're at it, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you haven't already. Now, let's get this travel guide started with Marksburg Castle. It isn't the biggest castle along the river, but this picturesque site is considered one of the highlights of any visit to the Rhine Valley. It's the only hilltop fortress in the Middle Rhine that was not destroyed and rebuilt at some point in its history. This is especially impressive since it was first laid down way back in 1117, so it survived 9 centuries of warfare and strife. The castle itself boasts original architecture and a museum that you can visit over a breezy 1-hour guided tour. Just outside its walls, visitors can take in amazing views of valleys, nearby villages, and the Rhine River itself. A short walk downhill takes you to the village of Braubach, which clusters at the castle's feet. This quaint and quiet place is just across from the Rhine, from the better-known Koblenz. Braubach has retained a medieval character. It's full of twisty old streets and half-timbered buildings straight from a fairy tale. There's also a relaxing riverside promenade you can enjoy before moving on to the next attraction. We're going to talk about several castles, but the Rhine Valley has ruins dating back long before the Middle Ages. Boppard is a charming town growing on rolling hills. Hills that the ancient Romans once called home. There is a magnificently well-preserved castrum, or Roman fortification, that you can visit here. This site has been dated back to the 4th century. It contains dozens of semicircular towers and well-preserved sections of the old wall. Some of these stand up to 9 meters high. History buffs will want to explore both the site and Boppard's museum, with its wealth of excavated Roman relics. This is also a popular town for shopping and grabbing a bite to eat. One of the biggest attractions is Deutsches Eck, a restaurant perched atop a 240-meter hill. If you're worn out from walking around the Roman site, you can ride a chairlift up. This saves your legs and gives you a stunning panoramic view of the river and hills. Remember how I mentioned that Marksburg Castle had survived the centuries pretty much unscathed? Yeah, Reichenstein Castle has a different story. It's a story of perseverance, of generations of people who refuse to let this castle disappear into the mists of memory, or, strategic importance and whatnot. Reichenstein has been besieged multiple times, and fully destroyed twice. Each time the people rallied, repaired, and rebuilt this pivotal piece of their history and safety. This latest iteration of the castle offers travellers a museum, historically furnished rooms, the remnants of the Rheinbuller ironworks, and something else, something rather special for this list. For you see, Reichenstein Castle isn't just an ancient structure with a wild history and amazing river views. It's also a functioning restaurant, bar, and hotel with luxurious amenities. That's right, you can book a night at this UNESCO World Heritage site. For many travellers, this is the pinnacle of their Rhine vacation experience. You can enjoy fine dining, experience castle living, and take all the time you want touring the museum before tucking yourself into your own castle bed. Next up, Koblenz. A lot of experiences are packed into this relatively small city. Wherever you are, you're only a short walk away from lovely historic churches, shopping malls, and more. Hop on a tour to learn about the town and the area. Its best known landmark is the Deutsches Eck, or German Corner. This observation platform overlooks the Rhine and Mosel rivers. It's a popular place for selfies and a great place to look around and get your bearings in this busy little town. Another must-see attraction is the Ehrenbreitstein Fortress. This towering edifice was commissioned in the 11th century. It was completely impregnable, a national security powerhouse, until it was finally breached by the French in 1797. Ehrenbreitstein Fortress contains multiple museums. If you're a military or history buff, you'll want to reserve enough time to take everything in. One quick tip, you can buy a combined ticket for the cable car ride up to the fortress and entry. Did your ears prick up when I mentioned vineyards earlier? Then this stop is for you. After all, you don't have to tour the Rhine Valley on just your feet or the back of a tour bus. You can also take your taste buds on an Epicurean adventure. Wet and mild weather makes many sections of the Rhine Valley ideal places to grow grapes. Riesling wines are its most famous export, a floral-forward white wine with sweet, fruity notes. However, other varieties are also grown here. You'll pass by vineyards clustered along many areas of the river, but in many ways, Rudesheim am Rhein is the heart of Germany's wine country. Where do you kick off a wine tasting tour? The Drossergasse is an alley in the town that boasts numerous wineries and tavern gardens with plenty of pubs thrown in as well. You can also take your wine tasting to the nearby countryside. However, before you leave, the Rheingau Wine Museum inside Marksburg Castle is well worth a visit. Here's one of the most elegant, romantic castles in the Rhine Valley. This UNESCO World Heritage site is perched on a steep hill that slopes directly down to the river. At 270 feet up, you'll have an excellent view of the area and passing boats. Rheinstein Castle was destroyed and partially reconstructed several times. It was fully rebuilt in the 19th century and boasts a working drawbridge and portcullis. Inside, visitors can marvel at the stained glass windows, art displays, antique armour pieces, and medieval weaponry. However, many people find the real draw here is the great outdoors. One of the gardens on the estate is named after the 500-year-old Burgundy grapevine growing there. Meanwhile, if you've fallen in love with the ruggedly hilly landscape, you'll want to check out the nearby Morkenbachtal trail loop. This 12.6 kilometre trail gives you a bit of everything: river views, challenging climbs, rolling valleys, and dense forests. It's rated as moderately challenging and takes about 4 hours to complete, but the views are so worth it. Most of the castles I've mentioned were genuine castles, that is, built for military and strategic functions. The 19th century Schloss Drachenburg, on the other hand, was merely designed to mimic other German palaces. As you approach, you'll first see delicate turrets poking out over the tree line. Then the rest of the castle is revealed in its airy, many-windowed glory. Yes, history buffs, it's not a real castle, but it looks like something straight out of a fairy tale. This castle was built for Baron Stefan von Schatter, a banker who built up enough of a fortune that he could buy a patent of nobility, believing that as a member of the nobility, he should have a family castle if no one was going to give him one. So he had Schloss Drachenburg built for him. However, he never actually lived in this fantastical place. Although this didn't become the family home, Schloss Drachenburg has lasting appeal in pop culture. TV shows have been filmed here, and it was also the inspiration for a castle in the post-Fleming James Bond novel Never Send Flowers. Funfseenblick refers to both the 10.6-kilometer loop trail near Bad Salzig and the trail's observation tower. The name sounds like a real mouthful, but it means view of 5 lakes. It's a bit of an insider joke, as you won't see 5 lakes, instead you'll get 5 lake-like views of the Rhine River. The star of the show is the 27.4 meter high observation tower. You'll get an incredible panorama of the area. Take the time to take in the view of farmlands and forests, vineyards, villages, rolling hills, and of course the river itself. The tower has a restaurant, so you can savour the view while having a bite to eat. The Funfseenblick Dream Loop is a 10.6-kilometer trail accessible from the outskirts of Bad Salzig, among other points. It's moderately strenuous, and the whole loop may take you around 3 hours 15 minutes to walk. The trail can be steep and has some exposed areas, so you'll want to check local weather before setting off. However, the spectacular views are well worth the effort. No list of things to do in the upper middle Rhine Valley would be complete without mentioning its most famous, or infamous, feature. The steep Lorelei rock face lurks on the right bank of the Rhine Gorge. It's something between a mountain and a cliff, a site of tragedy and inspiration to generations. Since at least the 10th century, ships have been dashed to pieces on the side of Lorelei. But what happened to them? Yes, the rock is located on a steep bend in the river, but frankly, the river has a lot of steep bends. Why is this rock face in particular so deadly? In older times, people whispered about dwarves, curses, and the most famous legend of them all, a heartbroken siren who lured sailors to their doom. In fact, the name itself means murmuring rock. Ancient people thought that something sinister lurked in the mountain and called to passing boats. However, despite this gloomy legend, the Lorelei has also acted as an artistic muse. Heinrich Heine wrote a famous poem about this local legend in 1824. In the years since then, others have been inspired to write ballads, symphonies, and novels about the mysterious Lorelei. Finally, we'll round out this list with another entry for active people who are looking for some thrills and would like to see the valley from another angle. Consider a rafting tour down the Rhine. You can find rafting adventures in multiple areas along this mighty river. For instance, towns like Rudesheim offer rafting tours that take you along the Rhine past quaint waterfront cottages and hamlets. You can have fun, cool off on hot days, and get a different view of famous attractions like Rheinstein Castle. Certain tours include vineyard visits, others stop at beaches that offer swimming. The laid-back pace of these rafting adventures makes them a great fit for families with smaller kids too. Culture meets nature, and history meets modern marvels in the Rhine Valley. This is a land of contradictions, outstanding natural beauty, and is easily one of the most enchanting parts of Germany. The Rhine Valley makes for a once-in-a-lifetime vacation for single travellers and big families alike. So start planning! Have you been to the upper middle Rhine Valley? What's at the top of your list of must-see attractions? Share the insider scoop with us and your fellow travellers in the comments section below. In any case, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed our roundup of the 10 best places to visit in the Rhine Valley, make sure to like, comment and subscribe. That gets you a priority ticket for more travel tips and inspiration. This is James saying tschüss for now, and I'll see you in our next video.